Alright guys, wood bearing back here with the reconstruction of the SNES. I wasn't going to do this, but there's some guys that was kind of interested in it, so we're going to do it. And I'm also going to show you guys how I clean the pin connector itself. So first off, we need a toothbrush with a little smiley face on it. No, I'm just kidding. This is one of my son's old toothbrushes, but it's got really soft bristles, and this is what we need for this job. So we're going to grab our isopropyl alcohol, and make sure this stuff's about 91%, guys. And you can get that at any, like a Rite Aid or Walmart or anything like that. And then we're going to brush its teeth, guys, just like this. Brush its teeth. And don't worry about this alcohol getting on the board, because we're going to let it thoroughly dry, or we're going to blow it off with some compressed air. And I've already cleaned the board with the same method. It works pretty good. And then dried it. But we're going to just clean this off really well, and we're going to look for any kind of corrosion on the pins themselves here. And this looks really good. And corrosion will look like kind of like a bluish looking, kind of like on your battery post on your car. If you ever opened the hood and seen that corrosion, that's kind of what this is going to look like. But that don't really need that much. And then we'll just blow it off. Get some compressed air here. And then set this over here, just out of the way. And we'll just repeat the process with this. Just be gentle, because you don't want to bend none of these pins. But pretty much just brush its teeth, guys. And make sure that your toothbrush is not losing some of it, like the bristles, like the stray bristles that are weird or whatnot. Sometimes they get down in there and can cause you some problems along the on down the line, where you're thinking, what? I just cleaned the crap out of this thing. Why the heck ain't it working? So I'll take a look here just to make sure I didn't leave anything in there. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. So, and then on the bottom side, you can see there, you want to do the same thing, because these are the pins that connect with the board over here. So I'll just give them a brushing the teeth, guys. Dental hygiene is key. And that is looking really good. So just some compressed air and blow that out. And that alcohol will dry off, so it's not a problem. So now, that's how I clean the pin connector. So, let's go ahead and grab the bottom plastic. And I forgot to tell you guys something. There's a little piece here in the back. This little piece here, it'll fall out. But this is where it goes if you lose it. And it goes just like that. So there you go, guys. So we'll just set the board in. Just like that. And the next thing we're going to do is reinstall our pin connector. And all you do is just find it where it seems like it fits like that. That feels pretty good. Then all you do is just push it down, just like that. Then we can go ahead and install our long silver screws on each side. And guys, be careful with torque here. If you have a problem, back up a little bit and then start back, because you don't want to damage the plastic or whatnot. So a tip for me, when I'm trying to start a screw, I just run it backwards. You hear that click, guys? Then start. It works a lot better that way. That's just a little trick I figured out, actually from my dad, with mechanicing and all that stuff that he does. And it really does help. So you guys can see we got that installed really nicely, nice and snug. Let's see now, the next thing we want to do, we're going to install the RF shielding that had the hair growing out of it. And it actually was like corrosive, whatever that was. I could not get that off, guys. I mean, I got a lot of it off, but it like stained the metal there. So what we want to do is keep in mind that there are 2 screw points here, and then there's 2 smaller holes. Well, there's 2 smaller holes, there's 2 pegs here on the board. one here, and then one here. And that's where those little, I guess they're like dowel pins. That's where those go. So you just drop it in like that. Make sure those are lined up, and that you're squared away. And then these slots will slide down by the pin connector just like that. And then these ones here are the just standard Phillips you guys seen in the other episode. And they'll just, you don't have to worry about, you know, which one goes where. They're all the same. So go ahead and install this back in. And I'm glad you guys showed interest in this, because I couldn't believe it. Gamerade, that he's the boss when it comes to this stuff. That's where I learned. I went to Gamerade College. Adam Corlick, that dude's awesome. And Jason and Kane, thanks for showing, you know, that you care about this kind of stuff. So I do this all the time. I don't know how many times I've done this, but back to what we're doing here. The next thing we need to do is install the reset button, or the power button. And depending on where you have this, it makes it kind of aggravating to put the top on. So I know where I had it, and it was in the on position. So it'll be easy when I put the top back on there. Back up till you hear the snap. And don't just tighten one screw down all the way and then try to come over here and tighten this one down. Kind of run them in till they kind of get snug. Make sure everything fits nice and flush and all that stuff, so you don't damage anything, guys. Because you know, the wood bearing, I've broke a lot of stuff. So now, that's nice and snug. The RF shielding's nice and snug, and the pin connector itself is. So now, next thing we're going to do is install the controller port. And this did not make sense to me the first time I done a console, because it's crazy how this has got to go in, guys. Look at this. You would not think that it would have to run in front of this like that. But that's the way it's got to be. And all you do is pull it through just like I did. Then you just easily set it in. Just like that. Then you pull up just a bit. Make sure this is on camera. I'm not off camera again. And then you just stick this in gently and wiggle it. It feels flush. And then all you do is just on each side push down. Just like that. So now we got our controller port installed and looking really nice. So now the next part's kind of tricky. The eject button. And you guys seen in the other video, have your spring in like this. And I want to show you guys something. The long side of the spring goes down to that hole in the plastic on the bottom of the console. So you want to have it like this. Then you want to slide your pin just through like that. And then what you're trying to do now, and mind the pin connector here. What you want to do now is try to get that spring back in that little hole, and a screwdriver or something like that would probably help with that. But first thing you got to do is try to get it in that bottom hole. And then you're going to pull the pin back just a bit. I went too far, but, and line this back up just like that. Then you're going to do a function test. Make sure that's in down at the bottom. And we're good. The eject button works nice. So, yes, we got that, guys. Now, we're going to install the last 3 screws for the internals. And that's going to be 2 long silver screws and 1 short copper screw. So 1 silver screw goes back here, and this one's kind of a tricky one. It's back there in like a cul-de-sac. A cul-de-sac, like a little cranny. But it's back there. And remember, don't just tighten one down all the way and then try to tighten the rest up. It'll end up damaging something. So just try to come in and run them all down till they're sort of snug. And then, sorry guys, I gotta get away for this one. And then come back once you've got them all run down quite a bit, about like that. And then make sure you got about that much torque. I know it's hard to tell, but you guys could do this for sure. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So snug and tight on this one, snug and tight, and snug and tight on that one. So we've got this back together, guys. You can already tell, I'm sure, that this looks a lot cleaner than what you've seen before. So now we're going to install the top. And I took all this apart and cleaned it up thoroughly. This here's a little bit more tricky. This spring right here is really tough. So if you're not wanting to actually kind of completely restore a console, definitely don't tear this apart, because that is a pain in the ass to get back in there. So we'll just set this on here, line up the controller ports, fits really nice. Then we'll flip it over and put in our 6 screws on the back that take the game bit, and that is again a 4.5 game bit. And I just use this as like for a drill socket set, but it's magnetized, and the game bit just snaps in there like that. So drop these screws in. So Jason and Kane, and there's a couple other guys. I really appreciate you guys showing some interest in this, and hopefully this would help you guys, you know, be able to do this, you know, kind of stuff for yourself. Because I tell you, if you can make a console look better and work better, it's worth a lot more money. And if you got doubles of those consoles, then you can sell them, get you something else that you want, you know, for yourself. And like a SNES with a controller and the hookups and stuff, I'd probably go with a game like Super Mario World or Super Mario All-Stars. I mean, you could get some pretty good money for that. And you guys already know that, so I don't know why I needed to tell you guys that, or felt like I did. But I'm glad I did this video. I had some before that I actually just deleted. I didn't think anybody be interested in it, because there's too many people out there, and Gamerade does a really good job. You guys, if you ain't seen his channel, go check him out. Don't be watching me as far as this goes. I got a little bit different methods than he does, but I do still use a lot of his techniques. But I don't have a cleaning kit for this, so that's the way I clean the pin connector. So there you go, guys. That is a wood bearing, and I got the switch right. See, it's lined up perfectly. That is a wood bearing Retro Game Hunter restored Super Nintendo. I think I did pretty good, guys. Alright, so that is it, guys, for the video. Thumbs up to all you guys. Thank you guys for really staying with me. Peace to all you guys. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. How did I pause this? See you guys.